Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Slone Stitches. If you are a new viewer, my name is Jess, and this is my channel all about cross stitching. If you're a returning viewer, how are you? Welcome back. Nice to see you. I hope you've had a great last couple of weeks and that you were able to get a lot of stitching done. I hope everyone is having fun with all of the Halloween activities if you partake, or the fall/spring activities, depending on what hemisphere you're in. It is finally cool fall weather here in Southwest Ohio, and I am so happy about it. I am happy to be living in hoodies and jeans and boots and sweaters and drinking chocolate and cider and all those stereotypical things that by the end of summer I was really ready to do. So it took a while, but we're here, which is good. So, life. Lots of stitching stuff going on lately. I've had a really busy last couple of weeks, stitching wise. Had my normal stitching group a couple Wednesdays ago. Went to stitching in Northern Kentucky that Erin and Amity, the Hathaway Stitchers, host once a month. That's always a great time. Such good people there. We have so many laughs and so much fun. And just trying to work through all these Halloween projects. That's been a lot of fun. More on that later. Also, I completely spaced out in my last video and did not mention I did get into StitchCon. I will be attending Weekend B for the second year in a row, and my entire table who wanted to return got in to Weekend B. We are losing one member this coming year who decided not to attend, but someone from my regular stitching group is filling her spot. So this is going to be my first year walking into StitchCon with a full table. No pressure. Got to get there and get a full table. But I got there at about 7:15 or 7:30 last year, and it was fine. I had my pick, and we know where we're aiming for this year already. So it'll be fun. I'm so excited. And then so many of my other stitching friends that I have met through Flosstube and Instagram and just various stitching meetups are also going to be at Weekend B, and that's exciting. I'm not going to name any names because I don't know. Some people don't share what weekend they're going to and things like that. But I am in full planning mode. I'm thinking about smalls. I am thinking about table gifts and other various things. And I will also be sort of around during Weekend A because I do live local. I'm about 30 minutes from the convention center. So there are a couple people attending A who have reached out, and we're going to grab lunch or something like that. So it's just going to be a couple weekends of a whole lot of fun. And I'm very excited. But I'm planning for that, and then also thinking, well, I have Stitch Away in January and I have to plan some things for that too. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot to think about. But I have a master list going in my notes on my phone, and it's organized chaos at this point. But I'm very excited about it. So if you are going to be at Weekend B, let me know. We'll definitely have to meet up while we're there. Okay, let's get straight into the stitching. I have a lot, sort of, to show. Like I said, I've been working through my Halloween whip wheel. So we have 4 days left in October. Today is Tuesday, the 28th, and I have 2 projects left on my whip wheel for Halloween, which is perfect because I'm doing 2 days each. So I'll spend that today and work on the second to last, and it's going to work out perfect timing-wise. So that's great. So I have those to show, a couple of non-Halloween whips in progress to show. I have a finish, and I want to do that first. And I also have a giveaway winner coming from last week, so stay tuned. Okay, so my finish is a project that I started last year on September 14th, 2024. This is Purrsival the Wizard from MamaWitchXStitch on Etsy. And this is on a 20 count mystery aida from BeStitchMe that I got in a Friday night fight night. Did this 1/1 with the DMC. He's so cute. He's so cute. I actually gave him an extra half day when he came up on the wheel because I was determined to finish him. There he is. Look at him. His little whiskers. This was so fun. And wisely, I think I saved his wings and then like a couple of the larger elements like these pumpkins and these mushrooms for the very end, because if you've ever done a MamaWitchXStitch pattern, you know all this little fiddly filler stuff can get a little overwhelming if you leave it to the end and maybe not very motivational to get it done. But having some of the bigger elements left really helped. So I'm glad I did that. But he is adorable. I'm so happy to have him done. I have a couple of ideas of how I want to finish him because I definitely want him displayed for Halloween next year. But we'll see. Like I said, I have so much going on. This fabric is some of my favorite, and I have enough left over to do something else on it, on that bottom part. It's just this really pretty, very, very dark blue. It's not, it looks kind of blackish gray on the camera, but it's got a really subtle, like navy blue undertone to it. It's so pretty. It's gorgeous. So that's Purrsival. And he's a wizard and he has little bat wings. I love him. I love him so much. Now I need to think about the next MamaWitchXStitch project that I want to work on because I already own several, and since I last purchased patterns from her, she's released several more that I really like. So we'll see. I still have that possum that everybody was stitching on a few years ago. I never started it. I bought him, but I never started him. And I think it's because everyone was stitching him at the time. And I was like, oh, you know, I see it all the time. I don't know if I would necessarily have the gumption to stitch it. But maybe now's the time. Maybe I pull that possum out and get him started. We'll see. To be determined. If you see me drinking water a lot during this episode, in this jug that's bigger than my actual head, that's ridiculous. I'm getting a tattoo tomorrow. So you hydrate the day before you get a tattoo because water is very good for your skin. So telepathically tell me to drink water through this because I really need to chug a whole bunch today. Okay. Let's get into whips. As always, here lately, these last couple months, I'm going to show my Carline stitch first. We've been in school for 2 months since the last time I filmed. So I have my 2-month update I posted to Instagram. Then I also have some progress since then. Haven't worked on it this week yet because I don't do Carlines on Mondays because my son has D&D club, which they finally finished getting their characters built out, and they started their campaign yesterday. He was telling me all about it. God bless the high schooler who is coming in to Dungeon Master for these kids. They're not right. It's like absolute anarchy. I'm sure he gets a kick out of it, but some of whatever. I won't go into it. Just know it's hilarious. A bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds with whatever. If you've been there, you've been there. You get me. So my Carline stitch, when I do have to sit in the car line to pick him up from school the other days of the week, is the wolf from Cottage Garden Samplings. I don't know how much longer this is going to be my Carline project, guys. He's coming along a lot quicker now that we're just filling in body. We'll see. I have to make a little emblem because I'm going to put my son's school emblem on it instead of all the foliage up at the top because his mascot is the wolf. So this is for him. This is where it was the last time you saw it 2 weeks ago. This is on a 36 count linen from Mystic Fabrics in a color called Nothing. And I'm doing this 1 strand over 2, all the called for. I did get the over dyed. There's 1 over dyed and then the rest are DMC. I'm going to have to put something behind him. Why do I always forget that? Oh, I have. Will do. Here he is. Doesn't he look great? There are a couple places where he's off. I had to do some finagling and some, some fudging. But I think he looks great. You can't tell that he's fatter than he's supposed to be and that a couple of the colors are a little off. My main thing with it being off is that I wanted to make sure that these little diamond shapes did line up because they continue straight across and they're symmetrical. So they are. But when I need to fudge, I fudge something else. But he's looking so good. So his base is completely done. I'm going to start on fill in here today, I think, when I go pick him up from school. So that's that. This darker brown, that's the over dyed. And that's going to fill in all through his chest here. And then this will all start to continue over here. And there's more whites and creams. It looks so good. I'm very happy with the progress on it. Maybe I'll do that fill in on his chest and then try and finish at least one more of his legs this week. Next week, we only have 3 days of school, so I won't get very much done. They're off Monday and Tuesday in our district. So, but maybe this week I can make that happen and I'll feel like I'm going into it with a little bit of a head start. I love him. He's just so regal. And I love this fabric. And I'm going to have a ton of this left over too, so. But it will never be my Carline stitching fabric again, that's for sure. I have a pattern coming that my sweet friend Eli from Thick Threads is sending that he got from a retreat, and it's Dungeons and Dragons related. And I'm going to stitch it up for my son. And I think that will be my new Carline stitch once this one's done. And it'll be on a lighter fabric and one that's not as reflective. I still don't understand what about the fibers in this fabric make it reflect the sun. But it can be a struggle sometimes. I'm really glad it's kind of a gray day today. And it's going to rain the rest of the week, except for Halloween, which is perfect. So we won't have rain on trick-or-treat night. But I'll have gloomy conditions with which to stitch. All right, let's move on. That to the side so I remember to take it with me this afternoon. So next, I have something fun. So I had started the Apprentice and I had a very small start the last time I talked about this. So this is from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I started this on the 13th with Catherine from Accounting My Stitches and Jennifer from Little Paper Bear Co. And I did my couple days on it for my Halloween rotation, and then I was like, I hate that I have to put this away. So then I was watching a couple of different Flosstubers that are doing various sports-related stitching challenges. So, like, I know there's been one created for baseball, which is obviously coming to an end. There's a football one that I think is called Gridiron Grinds. So I kind of checked those out and saw what they were doing and thought, well, hockey season just started and I am a pretty big hockey fan and that would be kind of fun. And it's an excuse to get a bunch of stitches into the Apprentice. So that's what I've done. So I created something that is really just for me, but if anyone is interested, I can put the parameters in the description box below. And let me make myself a note because I'll forget. Okay, so I am calling this, don't laugh at me, Stitching in the Seam. If you're a hockey fan, you're familiar with the term the seam. And basically what I am doing is I am following my team's wins, goals, saves by our goalie, and saves and goals by my favorite player on the team. So this is going to sound weird coming from an Ohio girl. I'm a fan of the Edmonton Oilers. I have been my whole life. My uncle, when I was little, was a big Wayne Gretzky fan. And so obviously he followed the Oilers for quite a while. And it stuck with me. So I was a long suffering Oilers fan when they were terrible. And now I'm a long suffering Oilers fan when they're good. Because we can get to the Stanley Cup finals, we just cannot win them. So I have set this up to where every game I have my little parameters and I have a notebook where I am keeping track of said games. There's 82 games in a regular season of hockey. So I am doing 50 stitches if they win the game, 10 stitches per Oilers goal, 1 stitch per Oilers goalie save, which if you're not a hockey fan, that's when they stop the puck from going in the net. I don't mean to explain it to you like you're stupid, but some people don't follow sports. And then I'm doing 29 stitches every time Leon Draisaitl scores a goal because he is my favorite player. And I roughly halved his jersey number for his assists. So that would be 15 because his jersey number is 29. So that works out pretty well. It gives me enough stitches that I feel like I'm making progress, but not too many stitches that it feels like it's overwhelming. And then when they get to the playoffs, when, not if, it's going to be an extra 100 stitches per series win in the playoffs. So, like I said, we've done 10 games so far. When I thought this up, they had played 6. So, got all the information from the box score, wrote it all down. You can see it's going not great this season, but they always get off to slow starts. So, I keep track of it. I write down how many stitches it is. And I have been sitting down every few days because usually the games are like every other day or every few days and putting in whatever stitches I need to catch up on. So I think I have a picture from where it was the last time I filmed. I had just started it. It was a very tiny start. Wait till you see it now. This challenge, it's a good one. It's working out for me. It's going to have a hanging thread because I am in the middle of a row of color, but I stopped because I was getting over my stitch count for the last game that they had played. This is on a 32 count linen in the colorway. It's a mystery from BeStitchMe. I won this from her anniversary giveaway. I'm doing this 2/2 with all the DMC. Ready? Look at him. Oh, I love him. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. This fabric is a lot brighter. Like if I unfold it, you'll see. Like that is some neat fabric. And it's a lot brighter than it comes across in the camera, but that's okay. Look at him and his sweet little face. So I was in the hat and I don't even know if I had any of the head started. Like I cannot remember where I was. I know it was not a lot. So I'll bring you in. I've got his whole body done. I've got most of his tail. His tail does continue like up this way and out over here. So once I have that done, I can backstitch his hat because it goes in the middle of all those stitches. I just love him so much. And then he's holding a little potion bottle. So once I get the tail done and the hat backstitched, we're going to do the little potion bottle. Which I don't know. Anyone doing stitching challenges, do you count backstitch as stitches? I guess I could. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. It's not a ton of backstitch, honestly, so maybe it doesn't matter. But isn't he so sweet? Oh, I love him. And I love him on this fabric. And the best thing is, when you post something on Instagram and the designer of the piece is like, I love your fabric choice. That dopamine hit, I got that the other day. That made me really happy. Because we know I love an Autumn Lane. Oh, he's so cute. I could just stare at him all day. I am a little concerned that I'm going to get down into like the rocks and stuff and get burnt out, but there's the mushrooms and things. So I think if I alternate back and forth, it won't be too bad. So that's my little apprentice guy. He's so sweet. I love him. And I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I am really in the stitching challenge kind of mood. So I've created this hockey one for myself. I am deep in plans for Whip Go and Stitch Go for 2026. I think I'm starting to embrace more of a random style of stitching instead of being so focused on my rotation. So I'll talk more about that here in just a second as well. Sorry, there's going to be zips because I don't want him to go everywhere. Okay. So next, my whip wheel spun my seasonal covered bridge project. So I don't think I might, if I have a picture, I'll insert it here. It's from this seasonal covered bridges leaflet. And I am doing the autumn one. So this is something I actually just started back in September. It's on an 18 count Aida and ledger from BeStitchMe. I'm doing this 1/1 with mostly all the called for DMC. Some of it I've subbed out for other colors because dialots have changed, or I just didn't have the right color and I wanted to get started. You never know about me. So really it's just a bunch of trees right now. But you can see the outline of where the bridge roof is. So we're getting there. I mean, there's like more trees over here and a little bit more down here, but then like the fence and stuff. But other than that, I've almost got the trees in on the one side, which means we're going to get started on the bridge very soon, which is exciting. And I love it on this fabric because it really is working out really well as a sky. Because a lot of this is full coverage, but not all of it. Like there's obviously open areas around the edges and through the trees and the inside of the bridge. I'm showing it, yeah. So I think this looks great. And I'm back stitching as I go, so we're not going to get to the very end because especially in the bridge, there's a ton of back stitching. This pattern is from 1980. So they did love their back stitch then, which is fine. So far, so good. I love it. And the coverage with the 1/1 on this 18 count looks great. So yeah, that's a fun one. It's just so random. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone stitching out of this book ever. I'll flash a little bit of it. I made a copy and I am highlighting because otherwise it's got handwritten symbols. So it's one of those. And I can't always see to do those, but this one is not so bad. Especially keeping track of it with the highlighter. So I'm trying to shove this back in there. Like I said, I really don't want to put up with a mess later. So, okay. Next is my secret stitch. This is not a Halloween piece. This is a piece that I want to give my husband for Christmas. It also has a hanging thread, but I can remove that off of there. There we go. So this is Van Gogh Frog. This is from Cherry Mary's store on Etsy. She has a whole line of these. I'm obsessed with them. I kind of want to do them all. If he loves it, they're probably going to go on display at work because they have the most wacky things. I was just in his office yesterday, and some of the stuff they have hanging on those walls is absurd. So he'll fit right in. I think I have a picture of it where it was before. I've been working on this off and on just when I get some time to work on it when he's not here. Like I've been taking it to stitching events and things like that too. Because yeah, I've got him almost halfway done, but it is full coverage, and even though it's small, that's a lot to do. So this is just on a piece of plain white 32 count Lugana. I don't know where it's from. Started it on September 15th. I'm doing it 2/2. And here he is. Oh, I'll tell you, if you're new, you didn't hear this story, other people did. There are 2 plus signs in the pattern. So even though I'm using Pattern Keeper, it didn't recognize that they were 2 different colors because they look exactly the same, but on the pattern itself, they are like one's blue and one is like this rusty brown color right here. And it didn't pick it up. It just made them all blue. So when I first started stitching, I had blue and these sunflowers, and I was like, wait a second, that is not right. So I looked at the actual pattern and figured it out. So we fixed it. We're moving forward. I almost did it again in the hat, but before I even put a stitch in, I thought that's probably the other color. And I checked and you can kind of see through. I'm sorry. Just realized. But we're coming along. I mean, it's chunks of color. There's not a ton of confetti in this, which is fantastic. So it's not like your Heaven and Earths or unconventionals or pain freebies or anything like that, where there's a ton of confetti in it. So it does stitch up fast when I can work on it. I do tend to get hundreds of stitches in at a time. Little needle minder I got at StitchCon last year. I just love the little random things you come home with from a retreat. They're so fun. Yeah, he's coming along. Will he be done before Christmas? Maybe. Maybe. I hope so. But if he's not, he doesn't even know I'm working on it, so who cares? Just left the thread out that I had pulled off of it. See? Okay. So back to my Halloween fall stitching. Spun my little Halloween whip wheel again and came up with Away We Ride from Bird Designs. I am doing this on a 36 count linen in Series from Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm doing quite a few projects on this because I love it. It's dirty and old looking and it's perfect. This is where you saw Away We Ride last time I showed it. I'm doing this 1/2 with all of the called for threads. And I started this with 2 of my friends in my stitching group, Michelle and Hala, back on the 17th of September. And Michelle brought it to stitching group a couple weeks ago and she's done. And I said, okay, I gotta kick my butt into gear here. So I feel like I got a lot of good progress. I'm gonna put something behind this too. Here it is. So I finished the house and I got that bottom motif in and the moon, and I started on that big old tree. I'm sorry, it's very wrinkly. I don't iron anything until it's ready to be finished. Oh, I love it. And tell me the truth, can you tell my house has got an extra half stitch somewhere in a couple of the columns? No, you can't. See, if all else fails, man, budget. If you can budget, highly recommend. I love it. I love how this house turned out. It's so pretty. I think I've decided I'm going to change the color of the words when I get there. They're currently in that, like, one of the browns. I think I want to make it this red from the door and really pull that in because it's in some motifs here and maybe here. I think definitely here and some here, but there's nothing up here. I feel like it needs more of the red. I really like the red. And if you're unfamiliar with what I'm doing with this project, I'm not doing the outside border, just the inside. So I feel like I want to bring that red into it. Is that a good idea? I think it is. I love that. Oh, I love it. It's so fun. And this is the first time that I've extensively worked with Gentle Arts thread. And I really like it. It's very easy to work with. goes in smooth, and I like that. So I'm having a lot of fun with that project. I will miss Halloween stitching, but not for long. You'll see. Next, my wheel spun Medicine and Poison. This is by the Witchy Stitcher. This I'm doing on maybe one of my favorite pieces of fabric I've ever owned. This is Fall from BeStitchMe. It's a 28 count, so I'm doing this 2/2. This is where it was last time you saw it. About to have a cat. Hi, Harper. And I will show you the whole thing first so you can see this amazing fabric. And then we'll bring it in. Oh, I love this fabric so much. So much. The reds and just it's rusty and old looking. Let me fold this up so that you can see the part that I stitched. Basically, we've got Medicine and Puff. And I think it looks so good on this fabric. The model is stitched on black, which I think looks amazing. But as soon as I saw this fabric at Fight Night, I bought it. And it's a 28 count. I don't do 28 and 14 count unless I'm doing 28 count over 1. But I'm not doing over 1 on this because I want the sucker to be big. But I had to buy it, even if it wasn't a count I liked, because the piece was just so pretty. It's just so cool. So I love this. I know I say that about all of my projects, but I just really do. That's another one. I know I've talked about her book before because I'm doing the Ferris wheel project out of it. But if you still have not either bought her book or checked it out from your local library, if it's there or whatever, I just highly recommend. Her patterns are so good and they're easy to follow and they're easy to read. And I just can't say enough good things about her. We're almost there. We have 2 more, and actually really just 1 more that I'm showing because I'll just talk about it now. I've started Ragnarok back up for Whip Go number 17 from October. So that's 4 days. So I did 1 yesterday, but I finished up not the Apprentice. That'd be fantastic. I finished up Purrsival, different critter. And I did hockey stitching and we went out for dinner last night. So I just had a couple of hours in the evening to work on Ragnarok. So it only got like 100 stitches. I'm not showing it in this video. I'll show it in the next one. It's just not enough progress to show. So Ragnarok's out. So we have 1 more. And that 1 more is Woodcut Stitch Witch. This is from Raven Coven. These woodcut pieces she has are so pretty. They're so fun. I'm doing this on a 20 count Aida in the color Grog from BeStitchMe, 1/1 with this Pirate Robin Midnight Blue. I'll show you against the fabric here. It looks black on this camera, kind of, but it's got a very pretty blue tint to it. So if you watched one of my previous videos, you know I had fabric drama and coverage drama and finally settled on this piece of fabric with 1 strand and it's perfect. So I got my couple days in on it and I have reached the other side. See? Yes. So there's where I am now. It's going to look great. So this, like, the 20 counts from BeStitchMe are like squares. That's absolutely upside down. I hope I wasn't showing you that. That'd be fun. So obviously it's a square, so I'm going to have a bunch of leftover. And I obviously didn't measure with a measuring tape. I measured with my heart because it's not in the middle, but that's fine. Who cares? This is fun. It's just nice, easy, relaxing stitching. The pattern is in Pattern Keeper. You don't have to think about where you're going to go or what your path needs to be or what color you're going to switch to. just super easy, relaxing stitching. And I'm very excited because this is about to be that dragon that's in it. I'm so excited. This is fun. I love it. And I don't hate the fact that I had to switch to this lighter colored fabric. I think it looks pretty good. I think like this was I kept it in here just to have it. This is what it looked like before. And you can't see very well on camera. I did not like the coverage of this. I don't know. It looks great on camera, but in person, it's sparse. So I actually really like this more. So I was only keeping this because I was going to frog it out and use the thread if I ran out, but I don't think I'm going to run out. This is coconut shell from BeStitchMe. It's a 16 count. So I might just throw this back in stash now that I'm fairly confident that I won't run out. Famous last words. Maybe I won't. So indecisive. Okay, so that's it for whips. Water. Hydrate. Okay. Let's do a giveaway winner. So last week I showed you these super, super sweet charms and scissor fobs and zipper pulls and beautiful things that Abby from Mountain Mama Stitches sent me a few weeks ago. And she sent me one for one of you. And I will show you that again. I asked you if you wanted this to use the word mountain in your comment, and it was a popular one. Several of you did. So it's this cute little cat charm. Very sweet. Good heft to it. Go check Abby out on Instagram. I will make a note to tag her channel and put her Instagram info in the notes below. So I threw everybody's comments into the random comment picker on the internet, and it pulled Stitcher Baker. So I know Liz. We have met in person several times. She comes to Erin and Amity's stitching meetup sometimes. So Liz, if you want to email me and give me your address to have this shipped out to you, we can do that. Or if you just want me to hold on to it and give it to you when I see you next, I can put it in my stitching bag, and all you have to do is knock me over the head and remind me when you see me again. So whatever, it's up to you. Get in touch with me. We'll figure it out. Okay. I'm not going to do a giveaway this week. My video in 2 weeks, I'm not sure when I'm going to record it. It will be out on the Tuesday, probably. But I'm having a tooth pulled that day, so I'm going to record it probably Sunday or Monday. But since I can't commit to a day of recording, I can't commit to an end date for the giveaway entries. So sometime in November, we will do another giveaway. I have a couple of Christmas things, I think, that I've like to share with you guys. So plans. Like I said, I'm working on Ragnarok. That was my Whip Go number 17. My Stitch Go number 17 was Bath Time from Heaven and Earth Designs. That's not getting touched in October. I was way too into Halloween fall stuff, but that's okay. November numbers came out. It is number 3 on Stitch Go for November. So that's 300 stitches. So I'll just lump them all together and try and get them done in November. No big deal. Number 3 for Whip Go is my Moonlight Sampler from the Blue Flower. Very excited to get more in on that. And then the other number for November was 22. And on both of my boards, funny enough, that's Reaching Skyward from Modern Folk Embroidery. So I'm going to cheat and double up. It's 4 days, and it's also going to count toward its 2,200 stitches. I love it when a plan comes together. That's called efficiency. Other than that, my only plans for right now are to finish out my Halloween whip wheel, which has been so much fun. I'll show you. Oh, that is dusty. We're down to 2. We've got Something Wicked, which is an Autumn Lane, and we've got the Haunted Library, which is Lola Crow. So I think that's 2 great projects to be ending the month on. Someone must have walked up to our door because my cat's like, she's freaking out a little bit. It's all right. We can ignore them. We're adults. So I have been loving that wheel. And it got me thinking because I am putting together my 2026 plans, and I think I'm going to incorporate the wheel into WhipGo next year. So I've started building my board, but this is not final. And so this is the WhipGo board that I have put in my little Excel sheet stitching planner that I use. And I've got Ragnarok on here 4 times. My Feather Fairy from Mirabilia is on here 4 times. There's other random things on here. But then I have, I think, 6 spaces each for Spin Christmas Wheel and Spin Halloween Wheel. What that means is I'm going to be creating a Christmas project wheel, which I think I will use in December as well, because that's just been so fun for Halloween. Might as well do it for Christmas. But I'm going to use them again for WhipGo. So when it's, and I won't have it where it takes them off the wheel when they're done, or blacks them out. So when that number gets called for a month, I will spin the wheel and pick which project to work with. So it's still got that random factor, which I am really finding that I like right now in this season of my life. So love that. And then Stitch Go, I kept the same, except I just flipped the order. So whereas this year, number 1 was bath time, and then they alternated from there, this year, number 1 is Reaching Skyward, and they'll alternate from there. So Stitch Go is set. I think Whip Go is set. I just have to create my wheels. And then, honestly, next year, I think, instead of doing my rotation where I've been going through in chronological order, which is this part of my spreadsheet, I have all of my active whips in the order that I started them. And yes, they're color-coded for Halloween and Christmas, so I can keep track of those. The gray one is the Christmas switch because it's both. This is how my brain operates. I love a spreadsheet. So instead of doing that, I'm going to put them all on a wheel. And we're just going to have the 2026 is the year of the wheel. And, I turn 40 next year in April. And I don't know if that is affecting how I'm looking at my organization and my plans, but I want to wing it. Apparently, 40-year-old me just wants to wing it, but in an organized way. So I think we're going to have a year of wheels, and I kind of love that for me. I'm very excited. So in the short term, November is my month to catch up on WhipGo and Stitch Go. It is my month to dip back into this chronological rotation because I am still trying to touch every project that I have not touched since my mid-year whip parade because I'd like to get progress on everything in this second half of the year. I need to work on Christmas gifts. What are you howling at? And I need to probably start 1 or 2 Christmas projects because I don't want to start them all in December. And I'm hoping where I had 13 Halloween projects, I will have 12 Christmas projects. See, that's how it all comes together in my brain. So we'll see, but I'm excited. Speaking of Christmas projects, I wanted to show really quick. I don't really have haul. I have 1 piece of Stitchy Kindness and my BeStitchMe fabric of the month. But so my Stitchy Kindness, I was at Erin and Amity's meetup on Sunday, and they had the idea, like they made me a bag. Erin put this bag together because my kitty cat Clover passed away in August. We had to put her down. And they made me, Christmas is my favorite, and they know that. And they made me a Christmas bag with cats on it in her honor. I was like, Erin, you're killing me. You're both killing me. But look at the back. Look at this fabric. Are they not the cutest? Oh, I love them so much. So I put my Yule cat in here from Quaternion Creations. Show you. And I have my whole own conversion of this that I will share in detail when I start this, but I'm so excited to start that. And I love that I have this cute little bag. It just makes me laugh. And that's great because so many things remind me of Clover. And I'm like, oh, I'm just sad. This just makes me laugh. So this is perfect. Thank you girls so much. I love it. And then the last thing that I have to share is this BeStitchMe fabric of the month. So I switched to the color club instead of the mix club because I feel like I have enough neutral in my stash for now. I am sure this woman is so sick of me switching my stuff, and I'm about to switch it again to a different count. So color club, this is October's. This is a 25 count Lugana. Look away if you don't want to see it. This colorway is called Huckleberry. So a very, very pretty dusty purple. And if you have been watching me for any length of time, you have heard me say the words dusty purple so many times, you probably want to punch me in the face every now and then, which is fine. Starfall Mountain. I think I've switched the fabric for this a billion times. I need to start it so I can stop doing this. I'm putting it on this. This is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay, we're done. That's it. That's what it's going on. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't promise I will stop saying dusty, but I can promise that I will stop switching that fabric and eventually just start the thing. Okay? Okay. That's it. I don't have anything else. This was longer than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think I had much. Thank you guys. I know there's a lot of Flosstubers out there that you can watch, and it's hard to keep up with everybody because there's so many good ones. So I really appreciate everyone who tunes in and spends some time with me every couple of weeks. It's just great. And we're coming up on my 1-year Flosstube anniversary in January. So that's exciting. I'll have to see what I can get planned for that, just as a thank you and a little celebration. But other than that, I don't have anything else. I hope everybody has a very happy and safe Halloween if you're going to go out and about to a party or trick or treat, anything like that. Have a great time. Be safe. And I will see you guys in November. Bye.